Hello, everyone. Welcome to this special episode of Svelte Radio. Svelte Radio Live.
Yay!
Wave to the camera. We have video. Hello, Brittany. How's it going?
Cool. It's going great. I'm excited to be
Yeah.
here today.
Yeah. And today we're joined by Simon. Hello, Simon.
Hey everyone.
And Puru. Hey, Puru.
Hi, man.
How's it going, y'all?
Great. I hope
Yeah.
it stays that way.
Yeah. So, we're here for a very special occasion. Last time we did a Svelte Radio special. It was a Christmas special, and we got a present, and it was Svelte Kit 1.0, right? So today, what are we getting today, Simon?
Today we're getting Svelte 4. It's
So the
out
Svelte
now
4.
since 10 minutes. So everyone
nice.
can go and do npm create Svelte at latest and get Svelte 4.
That's awesome.
And
So,
try it out.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
No,
Yes.
try it out and then tweet at Rich Harris.
Yeah, because he's not busy with other stuff. So that's very exciting. We've been waiting for a long time for Svelte 4, right? Svelte 3 came out back in 2019.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
So
Yeah,
4 years.
More than 4 years. Like in JavaScript framework times, that's like aeons. I
An
don't know.
eternity.
Yeah.
Eternity, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Svelte 5 will come in 5 years then?
Right? Yeah, right. Yeah, it could work. Yeah, 4 years, 5 years. No, I think Svelte 5 will be far sooner than this. I don't want to like set on a date yet, but for sure it will be sooner than.
Yeah.
than this
Let's
time
get a
frame.
date. Let's get a date.
think
No, I'm
that's
kidding.
what
Sorry.
Been talking about in some of the other shows recently that we've been doing with like the dev vlogs and stuff is that this Svelte 4 is kind of a small bump to hopefully lead into a bigger change with Svelte 5 coming up hopefully later this year, right? Let's fingers crossed on that one, but
He smiled. That's a confirmation in my book. No. Okay. So let's maybe talk a bit about like the journey to Svelte 4. You probably started working more seriously on Svelte 4 after Kit 1.0, right?
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. So for those of us that don't, well, I know, but for those in the audience that don't know what Svelte 4 is about, can we maybe get like a short description of what's new?
Yes.
What's changed?
Yeah. So, like Svelte 3, as you said, came out more than 4 years ago, and like the ecosystem, the capabilities of the browser, Node, etc., it all has changed a lot, and so things that were like where you had to make workarounds previously are no longer necessary. We have new typing capabilities to new versions of TypeScript. Basically, everything evolved. And so it's time for like a cleanup of all the things in Svelte. And so what Svelte 4 is about is like basically cleaning the deck, so to speak, and doing some minor but like necessary breaking changes, which will, I think, in the long run, make everyone's lives easier and also like set us up for the more bigger Svelte 5 release that is going to happen sometime in the future. Yeah, and so basically what it did is, first of all, like raising the minimum versions required. So you need Node 16 now. If you want to develop with Svelte, you need, so like if you're using Webpack, you need to use Webpack 5. If you're using TypeScript, you should use TypeScript 5. It may work with earlier versions, but no guarantees about that. Stuff like that. So basically bumping the minimum required versions. And the second thing is tightening up some of the types. some things were rather loosely typed. So for example, if you're creating an event dispatcher, you can type that, but it was previously not possible to say, okay, this never receives a payload or this has to receive a payload. And we fixed that, which is like breaking chains, strictly speaking, because maybe you have written the types in such a way that you thought, okay, this will work, but now this will be a type error because it's more strict. And there are two others around stuff like this. So like tightening up the types. And then some switching around of defaults. Transitions are now local by default. So this means whenever you have a transition, like an element fading in or out, if that's within a larger context, like nested ifs or something like that, and if it now, like the parent, grandparent context switches, the transition will no longer play by default. And this is a good default switch, because this especially hurts people or surprises people when they're using SvelteKit and then they have animations on their page, and then they have like outro transitions where something fades, and then they navigate to another page, and then suddenly the whole page change is deferred until this little transition inside somewhere deeply in the component tree is done. And so this creates all sorts of surprising behavior, and so we switched the default from global to local.
Yeah, that makes sense. I've been bitten by this bug a couple of times.
I think everyone has.
And and it always happens like the first time you're kind of like, what is going on? And you figure it out, and then it takes like you create a new project, code away, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna add transitions, and it happens again. You're like, oh no, what was this again? So now we don't have to worry about that.
We had a pretty good question in the chat. Which version of SvelteKit is going to support Svelte 4?
The version that supports Svelte 4 is 1.20.4. I guess it will work with previous versions too, but this is the one where it says in its peer dependencies that it officially supports that. So if you're using a prior version of SvelteKit, then it will be like, hey, peer dependency warning. This says to only work with Svelte 3. But yeah, to get away with these peer dependency warnings, you need to update to 1.20.4. And this applies also to SvelteCheck and to vplugin Svelte. And if you're using Webpack Svelte Loader, if you're using Rollup plugin Svelte, our Pretty plugin, our ESLint plugin. So basically every tool out there needed to update its peer dependency range. And so you need to update these. But you don't have to do this by hand, because we've also created a migration script. So if you're doing npx svelte migrate, svelte-migrate, and then space Svelte 4, then you're going to get the Svelte 4 migration script, which will do some of the, not all of the things, but some of the things that can be automated for you. So this is bumping the versions inside your package JSON, doing some of the type adjustments where it can do these switching. If you want to, you can say, okay, this transition change makes sense to me, so I don't want to migrate this for backwards compatibility. But you can also say, okay, I'm happy with my global transitions, and so you can say it should automatically migrate all your transitions, which are global by default in Svelte 3, to have the pipe global added to them, so they continue to work as global transitions in Svelte 4.
That's nice.
Is Svelte 4 together, or is it a space separating?
Svelte-4.
-4. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So,
and so I just noticed there's a new blog post on the website as well. So
it's there now, yeah.
There is, yes.
Nice.
Written by the Svelte team. So
yes.
yeah, so that's something you can check out. if you go to the Svelte website. Are there other things new in Svelte 4 that we should talk about? Maybe like the web component stuff? Is that something worth
Yeah,
mentioning?
so
Maybe?
two new things are like one thing which will mainly make SvelteKit users happy is that we've slightly adjusted the way hydration works. So the hydration output, like the component size, will be like I guess 10% smaller or something for hydration code now. So that's a win where you have to do nothing for, just update the version.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, the custom elements thing, this is part of a breaking change because basically custom elements have gone, like in Svelte have received a total rewrite, which fixes a whole class of bugs which were there previously. So previously what you had is you have this custom elements mode in Svelte, which you, in your compiler options, you say, I want to like create custom elements with Svelte. But if you do that, then you opt in every component you write into being a custom element. And this is rather cumbersome or not as scalable because maybe you want to just have your publicly API components be like custom elements. And then you have like many nested components within that web component that are never exposed to the public. And so you don't need them to be custom elements. You want to use them as regular Svelte components. But this wasn't really possible, but it is now. So what you can do in the new custom elements world is that you opt in every component that you want to into being a custom element. But you can, at the same time, use every component, even those where you say this should be exposed as a custom element. You can use every component continue to use every component as a regular Svelte component. And also the way the custom element is set up is now different. It's now through a wrapper, which means basically there's some setup around it to make it work in the context of a custom element, shadow DOM scope, etc. But within that, it's basically the same normal Svelte components that they were before. And this fixes a whole host of issues like actions not getting cleaned up on destroy, that now works, context within one Svelte custom element not working, that now works, and all other stuff like this. So
I had no idea actions didn't get cleaned up in web components.
Yeah, there were many hidden hard to spot bugs within there, but they're like all solved with this new approach.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. That's great. Other than web components, there's also, I know Rich mentioned on the last devlog, you worked on, there's a reduction in size of Svelte.
Yes. So this is the internal cleanup, clean the deck part of the release. So what we did internally is like 4 years ago when Svelte was created, there was no real notion of easy to use model repos, etc. We did release through the command line, through npm publish or something like that. And now we have monorepos, we have pnpm, we have change sets, everything like we get in the cool new world we have in SvelteKit, in our Git repository there. And like we have those now too within the Svelte repo. So what we did is convert the Svelte repo to a monorepo, add change sets. And what we also did is go unbundled. So Svelte 3 is basically written in TypeScript, and then there's a rollup build, which bundles everything into one big blob and publishes that along with source maps. And so it also inlines all the dependencies of Svelte into that. So like it has no visible dependencies on npm, which was always kind of cheeky. But that's now changed. So we're going unbundled. That means we now have transformed all the TypeScript code into JavaScript code that is type checked. So through JSDoc. That means we have the same level of type safety, but we don't need a build step anymore. And so we can like publish the raw source code we have. And that means we can get rid of the source maps, which makes up a size reduction. And we also no longer bundle all the transitive dependencies into the build, which also bloated up the bundle. And so this results in a overall massively reduced package size. So Svelte 3 was like close to 11 megabytes, and Svelte 4 is below 3 megabytes. So this is like a massive reduction in size.
That's amazing, yeah. That's pretty crazy, actually.
There's like so many huge changes from like the mono repo and like shifting all of the code over. Like I can't even imagine all of the changes that have happened these last few months.
Yeah, and as a user... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, as a user, this part is like unnoticeable. That doesn't matter to you.
Yeah.
The only thing that you will notice is that now like autocompletion will be better, because we also switched the way we do type generations.
Yeah.
Previously, we just used the raw TypeScript compiler to like put every type definition of the TypeScript files into a corresponding DTS file. And then they just lie around on the file system there. And now we have like one giant DTS file instead, which bundles all these. And also we provide source maps along these type definitions. So that means if you click on mount, for example, within your code, like you want to see what's on mount about. And then you're now no longer taken to the type definition, which is kind of redundant because like you already get that on hover. But instead, you're right inside the code that actually is on mount. And so if you're like a casual contributor or someone like curious how things work under the hood, you're just one command click away from being right there into the actual code to see what's going on.
Okay, so is my audio robotic?
It's okay now.
No.
It's
okay.
better now.
Yeah. Sorry. So someone was commenting
it's just one of these like frustrating things. We've been trying to figure it out, but
yeah, Android Kev is not back then. It's unfortunate. But yeah, okay. Sorry, Simon. Yes. So these things are, well, we will notice them. It's just like it's not like huge new features or improvements that we as builders of applications using Svelte will notice. But that's fine, right? Especially since we're
behind the scenes, though, those are significant improvements for the maintainers of the system that are going to see those like effects and allow for improvements in efficiency and speed in coding and building.
Right.
So we may reap the benefits of that in the long term, anyways.
Yeah. So there's some text in the new blog about Svelte 5, the next generation of Svelte. Maybe we can talk a bit about that. It says Svelte 5 will be a rewrite of the Svelte compiler and runtime.
Yes.
What can we expect?
Expect things to be more scalable. So like right now, one component, like the runtime itself of Svelte is super small, but one component itself is like rather bloated, which doesn't really matter if you have a few components, but like if you scale up to, I don't know, hundreds of components on the side, it starts to like, there's some inflection point at which like other frameworks actually are smaller in total size because they have a lower per component cost. And this will be changed. So the per component cost will be significantly lower. At the same time, Svelte will be faster again. So like this was once one of the arguments in favor of Svelte, like, oh, it's so fast, and everybody else has caught up or even surpassed in some cases Svelte, and we're going to change that.
That sounds great. I'm very much looking forward to seeing the new JS benchmarks.
I'm back again.
Oh no. Is it hello? Test?
It's crackly.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
we're in the weird view. So I'm gonna like stand very still right in the center of the frame and not move. It's such a weird view. There he is.
Hello? Is that better?
Now it's good.
Okay.
Why does
Okay.
refreshing like help that? It makes no
I
sense.
don't know. Yeah. I've stopped trying to figuring it
It's
out.
not his microphone, because his microphone is great when we're on remotely. We've tried other services.
Yeah, it's not the microphone. Like the microphone is great, but there's something with I don't know. Something with the web browser maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm clicking on something somewhere else that
You're not in
changes some
Safari,
audio
are you?
thing. I am not. Unfortunately, maybe that would have worked though. Right?
Oh, maybe Safari
Yeah.
would have worked. Maybe I walked into that one.
Yes. All right. So we've heard a bit about Svelte 5. It sounds exciting.
there's more things to that coming just
Yeah.
besides size and performance improvements, but we're not
Yeah.
quite ready to talk about those yet. It's like we're in the brainstorming phase, lots of crazy ideas thrown around. Like this is like huge kudos to Dominic and Away, who like for those who don't know, we now have 3 full-time maintainers working on Svelte. Dominic joined us about, I think, 1 month ago now, and like the ideas he's been thrown out and the ways he knows his way around compilers and performance is just mind-blowing, and it has paid off so much already that he has joined us. And so really excited about that, and it's very exciting to explore what Svelte 5 could look like.
And that's Dominic Galloway, right?
Galloway,
Yeah.
sorry.
Not OG
Not
Dominic.
No, not
OGDG.
Yeah,
As we call
OG.
it.
Yeah, it's a bit crazy. We now have 2 Dominics in the
Dominic
Latin chat. And
Jeez.
Who
they
dominated?
G.
also like
Yeah.
right, and the last name also starts with G both. So yeah,
What are the odds?
right.
Yeah. All right. So
Dominic said like he thought his name was unique, but then he joined Vassell, and there were like I don't know 5 other Dominics or something, and Dominic G in the maintainers team as well, and he was like, man.
yeah. Don't feel special anymore. All right. So let's maybe switch over to talking about we've talked about the new stuff in Svelte 4. It's mostly a maintenance release. There's some improvements, of course, but I think one thing that you have worked on behind the scenes, Puru, is the new website. So before this new website was released, it was just I think it was probably released when Svelte 3 was released as well. There's been some improvements to it over the years, but now we have this new Svelte kit-ized version of the Svelte website, which means we're taking a lot of inspiration from how the kit website works, right? So we have the command palette, or I guess search documents. That's new, right? Maybe I can actually bring it up on the screen so we can take a look at it. Present, share screen. And all right, can everyone see this? No,
No.
I need
No.
to add it to the.
No.
There we
Now
go.
something
I need to
came
actually add it to the
And-
stream as well.
I don't know if you can make it. I don't know if it's resolution or make it like full. There we go.
Yep.
And then zoom in a couple times.
Good point. All right. Okay. Maybe not that much. Is that enough?
Some. Well, yeah.
That looks good.
Fine. Yeah. Okay. So now we're on the blog page. I don't think anything has changed here. Really, it's just the same. But if we go to the homepage, this is new. There's a new, I guess, color palette. It's dark mode. Maybe that's because I've got dark mode activated here. This is how it looks in light mode. Blinds my eyes.
Exactly.
So I'll turn it off again. So what have you been working on here, Puru? What's the what are the main features that we can take a look at?
All right, so I've been working on this website for the last 4 months, and now it has finally released. And uh, as you can see, there's a dark mode here. The entire homepage design, and even the little headings that you see: compile, compact, complete. All of those are different from before. Before it used to be compiler based, very it was three different things, and they were all multicolored. Now it's mostly orange and gray, matching the Kit and learn.swell.dev websites. And as you can see, we have literally copied the terminal the terminal above from Kit. And yeah, there has been a lot of shameless copy paste from that side to here. Another thing.
No, I was just going to say, like, the Kit website is great, so I don't think that's a bad thing.
Now we just need to bring it all like together with a design system for Svelte and open source it.
Oh, someone is mentioning here in the chat, we're
cybernetically enhanced.
Cybernetically enhanced. I don't think we are anymore.
Oh, it says it's still.
Oh, we are. Oh, we are. We are. I was almost having a panic attack there. That would have been bad.
If you zoom it out, it's going to look a little bit different. So can you zoom it out a little bit?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So this is how it looks on the main website. So the cybernetically enhanced, it's not like on the other side.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great. So let's take a look at the docs. So it looks like the Kit docs. We have multiple pages. Yeah. And we can click things. And it's just like, it's so much better. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. The old Svelte docs were I mean, they were pretty minimal, so it wasn't that bad to search through them, but this is even better, right? You can link to stuff now in a more explicit way. And
yes.
And I just think it's better.
And to be honest, the old docs stopped being minimal a few years ago, I would say. Like when I was on my Windows computer, they would jank. Scrolling would be janky.
Right.
So they were not minimal at that point.
That single page application, like having all of that stuff load in at one time, was probably just too much.
Yep.
Exactly. Every single thing on just one single page. So as you can see, we have a completely different information architecture. All of the templates and text related stuff like the if blogs, those very special Svelte colon body window, those kind of elements are all in their separate categories and all in their own pages. And also,
I just noticed, I have to say, that little triangle, I've never noticed that on the Kit docs. Is that something that's on the Kit docs that points to?
It is there.
It is? I've never noticed that before. That's like a nice little addition.
Yes, and Kevin, before you scroll away, please click the JavaScript to TypeScript toggle.
Right.
Where's it?
It's also like on the Kit website.
Oh,
precisely.
Very nice.
We copied every good thing from Kit
here.
So every good thing from here back to Kit.
You can flip between JavaScript and TypeScript for the code samples. Nice. That's a nice feature.
It's actually very nice to be able to see how to use it in TypeScript is also very nice. Yeah, I guess that's it for the docs. Are there other things that we can mention?
There is more.
All right, let's hear it.
There is more. So before we move on to the command palette, I would just could you go to the Svelte page under the runtime section? So all of the modules that are exported under Svelte are here under runtime, with the exception of Svelte compiler, which is under compiler and API. We will get back to it later. So as you can see on this page, just under unmount, you can see the little weird code snippet function on mount. Kevin, scroll up a little bit up.
Yep.
That thing just under the on mount heading.
Gotcha.
That's differently colored. So all of this is completely generated from the exported types. None of this is handwritten. So anytime the typings or on mount or implementation changes, this is going to change without us doing anything.
Wow.
So you can be assured. So rest assured, the docs are never ever going to be outdated compared to the source code, which is a problem with many documentation websites.
Yeah.
What package
yeah,
are you using to do that? Is that Shiki?
The syntax highlighting, yes, that is through Shiki.
Oh, okay, Shiki does it. What does the generated documentation?
Sounds like it's
sorry?
handwritten.
No, he said it's automatically generated based on the types. What does the automatic documentation for the types?
It's completely hand rolled, handwritten.
Oh, okay, but it's automated.
Yes, it is automated.
Wow.
And there's a 1400 lines long renderer that is doing all of this stuff, rendering it out, JavaScript to TypeScript, all those little auto-generated type definitions. All of it is auto-generated with those 1400 lines. And if you scroll down, it's not just under an on mount, it's under before update also, tick also, set context, if you just scroll down.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
All of it
Yeah,
is
that's very cool.
completely automatically generated. And the most important thing that I would say is if you scroll to the very bottom, there's a little type section there. And just like it, all of the types exported by this specific module Svelte are just documented in here with a proper documentation. For example, if you see for Svelte component, it has everything. It has a type information, code snippets, and just everything. Everything is very well here.
Yeah. So there's a question in the chat here.
Sure.
Have you included a confetti Easter egg somewhere?
No, I'm really sorry. Like I should have included that, but no time.
Missed opportunity. Maybe next time.
Yeah. Version 5
All
is
right.
definitely getting it.
Yeah.
Speaking of types, we also have a dedicated TypeScript section now.
Mm-hmm. So where can I find this? TypeScript.
Send a
maybe.
misc.
Yeah.
Right. So like previously, before we had npm create svelte, people were like, how do I do this with TypeScript? Where do I even get started? These things were like documented all over the place, but there was no like definite source for this. And we've changed that now. We have a dedicated TypeScript section, which like walks you through how can you get started with TypeScript, what do you have to do to opt in your components into TypeScript, and several like hints about how to type certain things, like the create event dispatcher. How can I like type that more strictly? How can I enhance certain things? There's even a link to the like experimental advanced typings.
Yeah, I saw it up here.
And yeah, so basically much
too complicated
more
for me.
official, the one-stop shop to getting started with TypeScript in Svelte.
Yeah. No, this is, I think this is great. This was definitely missing. I always had to like look at other projects, how they did it for a bunch of the types when using different features. So this is, I think a lot of people will appreciate this.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just like, there's probably stuff missing here. But now that we have multiple pages, there's like there's no hesitation to add more text to these, because every page is on its own, and it's not like this giant one pager that gets bigger and bigger, and you have to start worry about, okay, what do I put in there? So we just have more room to add more detail. Yeah, and there's probably also room to add more detail to the other docs, and so yeah,
right. And then you can just expand on the amount of pages, right? The TypeScript page could become a section at some point if you wanted to do even more stuff there. Yeah. So there's a question about the CSS here. So Puru, what's the CSS framework used here? It's raw, right?
There is no CSS framework. It's all handwritten, and all of the styling for the specific text rendering that you see on the documentation, they are in one giant text.css file in sitekit. So it's all hand rolled, and it's all dirty but simple kind of CSS styling. No components, nothing fancy, just plain CSS for the rendering part.
Yep. All right.
And
So-
also, if you hover on the code snippets, you'll see certain underlines under specific symbols.
Yes.
Woohoo!
So you get some more information when hovering over there. Yeah.
Precisely.
sense.
And an extra benefit of this is because all of these code snippets are type checked. So anytime the Svelte API changes even a little bit, the docs will completely break, and we'll have to go investigate and update them accordingly. So if Svelte version 4 changes its API, you cannot get the new website up until you have updated the corresponding documentations as well.
Okay, that's
Will never be out
cool.
ready.
So never out of
Precisely.
sync, never. Yeah, perfect.
Precisely.
So
And we
Yeah,
have
sorry.
a command palette.
Yeah, I was actually just going to ask you about that.
Yeah.
So it's this thing. So what can I do? I can search, right? So
Search
logic
anything you'd
blocks.
like to do about Svelte.
If. Oh, there you go. Looks like it works just like on the Kit website. Is this something you've
Yes.
extracted into SiteKit, or like how does this work?
All of it is in SiteKit, except for the specific links themselves. Like you cannot generate the index on SiteKit itself.
Yeah.
It is exclusive to both Svelte.dev and kit.svelte.dev as well. So everything else, the search component and the little bit of blur behind the search that you see, everything is in SiteKit.
Yep. Maybe we can take a look at what it
Yeah,
looks
the
like
most
in the mobile
controversial
view.
thing.
Maybe internally. I don't think this has been very controversial yet, right? So there's a mobile menu here. Maybe I can increase. No, okay. So there's a mobile menu that appears when you scroll, and then you can click it, and there are errors here. Let's ignore those. But yeah, so the menu is at the bottom. I really like this design. This is what I used way back when I created the super old Svelte school website. I made like a button bar thing, like in the apps. That's what I used because my phone is too big, so it's better to have it at the bottom, I think.
Man,
and
the phones
I guess,
nowadays they are not built for human hands. They're just built for death claws.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this website is, someone is asking in the chat, the docs are built with SvelteKit, right? And yes. Right. Yeah. I really like this new menu. Definitely something that other websites should take after. Is that how you say it? Follow up on? Like, what's the word here?
I think yes.
Take after? Yeah. All right. So
and if you look at the menu, for example, if you're on blog and you click on that, you'll see an index of all the blogs that you can go. So if you're on the home page and you want to go to a specific blog post, you don't even have to go to the main blog page. You can just go directly from home page, just anywhere. Everything is right there in the menu.
Yeah, right. So you click the arrows there, yeah. Now that makes
Precisely.
sense. Let's take a look at Svelte version 2. Okay. No, I'm kidding. Sorry. We're at Svelte 4. Sorry. Okay. I'm closing this thing. Yeah, and I think you've done some work on the REPL as well, right?
Oh yes. So the new REPL, it uses Core 6, and you can do a lot of really nice things to it. For example, you can select the variable name, and then you can control. I think you can command click on the name, and
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
you have multiple cursors now.
Yes.
That is
Name.
really nice. That's something I've been missing in there for a while.
Yeah. To be honest, this is the only feature of CodeMirror 6 that I know, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of great stuff. We have just scratched the surface. There's just a lot more to do. And one more thing is that the entire REPL code base, that is also completely TypeScript compliant now. And no, there's no TypeScript. It's just that the entire code base is now properly type checked compared to before. So everyone who is saying Svelte hates TypeScript and moving away from it, no. We are adding TypeScript everywhere without adding it.
Yeah. I mean, that's that we've talked about that numerous times on both on the podcast and on the devlogs about the so-called controversial step away from TypeScript. Let's stay away from that topic today. We'll be stuck here forever. Even though I like you, that's like to chat to you all. That's it's gonna take 4 hours. So okay, so the REPL is new. It kind of feels snappier as well, just using it from this little amount of time that I've tried it out. Someone is mentioning there's a option plus arrow keys. I don't know what that is. Ooh, oh, sorry about that.
That's how you move lines around. So if you hold option on a line and you push
I
it.
see. Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah.
That is very, very nice. Awesome. Cool. And the new tutorial is, well, I guess that's the new learn page. That's what it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're not
Precisely. This is an entirely different website.
Yeah.
Is there a new bottom navigation somewhere too? I saw that in the blog, but I'm not seeing it on this page.
All right. So the bottom navigation is only on Svelte.dev yet. There's a pull request on Kit's site for the bottom navigation and all of the new niceties. Learn.svelte.dev hasn't received any love on that side, and we will be updating it through the next few weeks.
Yeah. There's a question or a comment here about Vim support. Is that coming to the REPL as well?
Wait a second. Did Paolo ask that?
No, Theo Steiner said.
All right. So yes, Vim support is most probably coming in the next few weeks.
Awesome.
It's coming, and Paolo is working on it. I believe Paolo Ricotti. One of the people behind Svelte Lab. So yeah, they made Svelte Lab, which is a competitor to REPL. So you better believe that the new changes are going to be good.
Yeah, and so to be clear, the REPL, it still only supports Svelte, right? It's not for Svelte.
Yeah,
Kit.
I don't think
It's
they're
just for
competitors
Svelte.
because they're two different things.
Not yet.
Oh, what?
Shots fired. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
No. All right. So any other things with the website that we should
I
look
think
at?
you meant that they are two different things yet, but maybe they are.
Yeah, right. Maybe merge at some point. Who knows?
Okay, gotcha. Like, wow, like calling out here.
Yeah. All right. So website. Last few thoughts, or what are some new things that we've not talked about that are important to highlight?
I can just remember one more change. There is a PR there's a PR about merging examples and REPL, and we might merge both of them to be just a one single link playground. We are only brainstorming this yet, and nothing is decided. But within coming weeks, expect examples and REPL to go away, and there will be a new playground link up there.
Okay.
Nice.
Gotcha. All right. I think then.
Yeah. To summarize, I really like hands down to Puru for like pulling this off behind the scenes for so many weeks. It was like really great effort, and it's like so many hidden things behind the scenes, like building this scalable generation system that we can now also backport to kit.svelte.dev. And so this was really a heroic effort. And what we also have to say is that this wouldn't have been possible without the donations to
the Open Collective.
To the Open Collective, right? So like the money has been racking up there, but we are now putting it to good use, and this is one of the examples. So we're able to pay Puru for his work, working on this more than like a few weeks or more than a few hours, and so this is made possible thanks to everyone who has donated to the Open Collective.
Yeah, and there are over 450 contributors to the Open Collective. That's quite a lot of people.
Awesome.
Yeah, and if you don't know that there is an Open Collective, now you do, and you can go to the link that I just posted there in the chat and donate some money.
I have an idea for when you pull out examples. Whatever you put back there, you can add your confetti to something there. That could be one of the new examples.
That could be a new example. Yeah.
I'll put that proposal up to the team.
Okay.
All right. I think that's it for the news. Svelte 4 is finally out. We've been waiting for months, years, and now it's here. I'm very happy about this. Especially.
Did you say months?
Yeah, I mean,
we've been
months and
waiting for
years.
months. We found out it was coming, but we've been waiting for years.
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant.
4 years precisely.
Yeah. Okay. Any other things that we should mention?
I'd just like to give one more shout out to everyone who has contributed to the work of Svelte 4. The maintainers channel has been vibrant the last few weeks. And again, thanks to the Open Collective, another maintainer, Cyrilla, has been able to put more time into it. And so he really helped us get over the finish line there. And it's like, he's just one example. There are so many others. It was really a team effort, and we couldn't have done it without them. And so really grateful for all these people.
Yeah. Is there a place on the website where we can check out all of the maintainers, or is there?
It
seems to be at the bottom,
good idea.
right?
Yeah, maybe we should have this at some point. Like, I don't know, some list.
Listed on GitHub even?
There is
you can
something
on GitHub. You
the
can have the list of
homepage.
all contributors.
But not
You
like
can
the
somehow
actual-
infer from that. Okay, this is probably a maintainer because he has so many contributions. But yeah, maybe we should have some kind of special place.
I'm actually surprised that GitHub hasn't come up with some way to like label your core maintainers and frame them somehow.
Well, I mean, you could be part of an organization, right?
Yeah.
That's probably the way to do it. But a lot of people can be. I think I'm part of the Svelte org but that's just for one thing.
We
one
have the
small repo
investors
somewhere.
thing with that, and like we're part of the org
Right.
under it. But
Right. Yeah.
If I remember correctly, there's this all contributors board, so you can add people to the homepage, README, etc. with that.
I guess you
So,
could make a
okay, you could try
maintainers
that.
like team under the org, and you could have them as a team.
Yeah.
That would be a way to show them. But
Definitely something to
and Robot
think about.
Kevin is back. Right on time.
maybe you
Right
maybe
on
you can
time.
start off the unpopular opinions section
Yeah.
while I relog here.
I don't know what it is with like, and it seems to only happen in StreamYard, I think, because it doesn't really happen in remotely, which is also in a browser. So it can't be the browser. And we were using Video Ninja earlier to try to see if that might work, and it wasn't doing it in there either. So I don't think it's the browser. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean it's not.
So I'm trying to figure out your issues. Like, I don't know.
Nobody knows. I'll have
Maybe
to.
it's Safari.
Well, no,
I mean, I'm not using Safari.
I walked into that one
Oh.
earlier.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you using Safari?
StreamYard doesn't even allow you to use Safari, I think.
Yeah,
So-
it's Chrome is like what you have to use with StreamYard. It's very specific.
All right, unpopular opinions. this is a Svelte Radio episode after all. So, do you guys have one? I don't. So, there's that.
Don't tell me I have to use Chrome.
Sorry.
Don't tell me I have to use Chrome
Right.
because we
yeah.
just said that.
Yeah.
I'm not so picky anymore. Like I use Chrome a lot for work now, but I like Firefox. I've used Arc a lot. I like other browsers. I don't like being told which browser to use.
Yeah. So Theo is saying that Robot Kevin is preceded by a green flashing screen. It could be Voldemort casting Avada Kedavra on his microphone. I mean, sure.
We love our Harry Potter references too.
Yeah.
We've got our Snape.
Okay. So it doesn't sound like we have any unpopular opinions today, right?
Except the
Let's.
browser.
No, my brain doesn't have space today for unpopular
Yeah.
opinions.
Same. Do you have a heat wave in Germany as well at the moment?
We do, yes.
I think
Yeah,
the Earth
it's the
is
same
made
here.
right now.
Yeah, probably.
I think everywhere is having a heat wave. Like this is the season right now.
Yep. Yeah. No, you're right.
I guess maybe the Arctic is not, but hopefully,
Right.
hopefully
Ah,
not.
so that's
I mean,
what-
here it is some 40 degrees Celsius, so that is a sort of heat.
Oof.
And I'm complaining about like 25. I should have been quiet. All right. So let's move on to picks. What are some cool picks?
I was really excited about the stuff they released at Config yesterday. If anyone's interested in Figma and the design space, they released, even for developers, like some really cool stuff at Config. They have a dev mode in Figma now, where you can
What does that do?
switch to dev mode, and it like kind of condenses layers down. So you have, instead of like just like a bunch of layers on an SVG, you'll have one layer, so you can export it easier. It just makes you can switch the code to use rims instead of pixels. You can switch it to component code, and it will do like actual props. They have variables now that
Oh.
will do. There's so much cool stuff coming out in Figma.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's awesome.
it was mind blowing yesterday.
That's not what I thought was going to happen after Adobe acquired Figma. I thought it was going to go the other way.
The other
just
way?
get worse and worse and
No,
worse.
and they released pretty much everything I could have wanted out of Figma just yesterday, and I was like, wow, it's done.
To be honest, yeah, I also thought it was gonna go the way of Heroku.
Oh,
Right. Yeah. Just
yeah, I
a
thought that
quiet
too,
way.
that it was going to go paid. So these features will be paid next year. Everything is free right now. I think they'll be on paid plans as of 2024. If Figma cared about developers, they would call auto layout Flexbox. So auto layout did get wrapped too. So I don't know if you're familiar with auto layout. You used to not be able to wrap it. So it wraps now. You can do like responsive screens. So you can take it from like a mobile screen
Nice.
and drag it out, and it will just pull the stuff out responsively. So many cool things.
Yeah. No, that sounds great. Okay. Simon, Puru, do you guys have picks?
My pick is the Svelte ecosystem lately, because I don't know, so many like spark through the hackathon, so many great things have come out of that and continue to be pushed out, like Svelte Lab. Now Melt UI looks really promising with the builder approach. Skeleton UI really shaping up,
Yeah.
and I don't know, it's great.
Superforms.
Superforms, right? Superforms, which is like a super nice, super extension to form actions. And I don't know, it's just like really nice to see how the ecosystem evolves and like takes the primitives that Svelte itself provides and then just run with it.
Yeah.
I think that's what we put back into it too. Like the hackathon was so beneficial in so many ways, like to get interest involved in the community and look at what it's putting back, like just blossoming lately. So I think we're doing good.
Definitely feels like it's growing and getting more
Mhm.
popular. And there was the survey recently, right? In the Stack Overflow
Oh,
survey
right.
that was released recently. That's going to be my pick then. So I'm going to pick that. Svelte was doing fine. I think it only got beaten out by Phoenix. Yeah, which is not a JavaScript
like
framework.
last year. I think Phoenix is seems to be like yet another league. Really high satisfaction, but Svelte is in second place, and really doing great. And I mean, what's also satisfying is that the number of respondees has increased in the survey, but at the same time, the number of people who said they've used Svelte has also increased. So we're like steady increase in adoption, but at the same time, like we're keeping the satisfaction rating, which is really nice.
Yeah, that's a really good sign. All right.
Right.
Puru?
And I would like to pick a little book I've been reading. It's called the James Potter series by G. Norman Lippert. This is based on the Harry Potter universe. So Theo, I think you're gonna love it. It is based on Harry Potter universe, and it is completely a fan fiction, but it is a really good fan fiction. So all of you, if you really love the Harry Potter universe, please go read it. You're going to love it. That's it.
All right. Cool.
Great.
And that's our picks. Thanks for joining us, Simon, Puru, for this super special episode of Svelte Radio. Maybe we'll do one for Svelte Kit 2 or Svelte 5 as well.
I was going to say, like, we're doing this every 6 months, it seems like. I think we're going to get another Christmas present, maybe.
Well, he laughed. Date confirmed. I'm kidding. Yeah, and thanks to everyone who's watching. And if you're listening to this as a podcast, I would suggest maybe checking out the YouTube video, so you can see the new website. Or you can just go to the website and check it out yourself. That's also an option. All right. With that said,
Go try Svelte 4 too.
Yes, go and try Svelte 4. That's like the main thing, right? All right. With that said, yeah, we'll see you next episode. Bye.